1 year ago, this very day, right here in Star City. You missed your intended target, but your arrow found its way into my boy.
That is not the actionable part. He told me the details of his son's death. He was killed 1 year ago today. Caden thinks that he was collateral damage from a fight that I had in Star City. It's not possible.
You were in Hub City recruiting Dinah.
Yep.
Hey everybody, this is going to be my Arrow video. Just careful for spoilers from the episode if you haven't seen it yet. There is a new round of that Flash Ring giveaway. All you have to do to enter is just be a subscriber and share the video using those tools on the watch page. But basically, you can kind of see what they're doing. They're slowly revealing who Caden James' son is and why it is that he thinks that Oliver killed him. There's this big surprise I feel like they're building towards, and it probably has something to do with Prometheus last year. So right now, this is the biggest mystery. Like, what was the evidence that he sent Caden James when Oliver was busy recruiting Dinah? I think it was around episode 10 or episode 11. It was like right at the beginning of the second half of Arrow's season last year. So think about it this way. Who died relatively close to that Oliver definitely is responsible for?
How everything you touch dies.
Right now, best option for that is Billy. Remember, Felicity's old boyfriend that Oliver killed thinking that he was Prometheus. So they went through that whole thing last season. But what if Caden James was his father? Then a couple months after that, we get to episode 10, episode 11. He goes to recruit Black Canary, and Prometheus quietly sends Caden James that thumb drive with video of Green Arrow maybe killing his son. So it's a collateral damage situation. They use that term during the episode, but it's always possible that it's someone else. Just current best candidate, we know that Oliver's responsible for killing Billy, and he was a relatively big character during that season. At least for Felicity's character, I never really connected with him that much. But I know a lot of people are wondering maybe it might be Roy or another big character that we already know on the show. So he thinks that he's dead, and whatever evidence is on that thumb drive seems to imply that. So I don't think that that's being faked. I think that Oliver really was responsible for whoever his son was. But the other big question now is what is he going to do with that $10 million that Oliver is wiring to his offshore account on a regular basis? He said that he has to continue to do that for the foreseeable future until they bleed the city dry. So really the drawback of that is that he's just going to make Oliver seem like a really bad mayor, and he's going to make everybody really pissed off with him, with the city. So it's going to wind up turning into like a season 2, season 3 situation where you just have all-out war in the streets. There were a whole bunch of Easter eggs, and we got that whole subplot with William. One, they're giving him this minor hero arc where he gets to be like Green Arrow and help save people. Like, he even saves the bully that's been torturing him this whole time. But because Oliver and Felicity are married now, they're kind of turning them into a little family unit. And they're actually doing kind of the same thing on The Flash, but they're building that family unit in a really circuitous way. Like, you see this girl that might be Barry's daughter. I'll talk about that during a Flash video later today, because the end result winds up being the same thing. Like, you have the Flash family, you have like the Arrow family now. So William is in the Arrow cave, he's checking out Oliver's stuff. If you saw the trailer that they posted a while ago too, it's him looking at all these things and being a little more okay with Oliver being the Green Arrow, which I think was a place we all knew we were going to. Oliver's not going to stop being the Green Arrow, and I think they want a relatively positive relationship between him and his son. So eventually something was going to happen to make him feel okay with Oliver putting the suit back on. And that was largely what they used Felicity's character for. And now it makes a little more sense why they've had those characters spend so much time together this past season. Although I think everybody picked up on that, like in the first couple of episodes. Like, oh, she's tutoring him. Very clearly, they're laying groundwork for her to become some sort of stepmom for him. But if you didn't spot it, when they were in that tunnel sequence, the bus's license plate read Red Rum, which is from the Shining movie. So you could take this Easter egg a number of different ways. One, you could take it as a joke that William is the child from The Shining and he has special powers. He's not a metahuman, he doesn't actually have special powers, but you could take it as a joke on that. Or you could just take it as somebody going crazy like Jack Nicholson from The Shining, like just shit going absolutely bonkers. Wild Dog had that joke about Escape from Detroit. Mr. Terrific got totally upset with him because he loves John Carpenter movies. Escape from New York is one of my favorite classic John Carpenter movies. But then, like, probably the biggest Easter egg is Mr. Terrific joking about calling new Team Arrow the Outsiders, which is actually a title that they thought about using on one of the shows a long time ago. The now disgraced Andrew Kreisberg was doing an interview a couple years ago with Kevin Smith where he talked about them creating the Legends of Tomorrow TV show, and they were thinking about what to title it. Like, what is this going to be? Are we going to call it Justice Society? Can we call it JSA? Can we call it The Outsiders? He said the big reason that they decided not to use the Outsiders name is because that's mostly thought of as a Batman title, like Batman and the Outsiders, and there was no way that Batman was going to be a character on that. So they didn't want to do something like The Outsiders without actually doing the characters from that title, or do Justice Society without doing legit Justice Society characters.
We're the Justice Society of America.
And you're coming with us.
We really only got them for a couple episodes during season 2 of Legends, so hopefully at some point in a couple years, maybe down the road, they'll do an actual Justice Society TV show. They have revealed a couple things about the next couple of episodes. They don't offer any evidence as to who Kate and James' son is, but Roy is coming back, I think episode 15. They're taking all kinds of pictures behind the scenes. Paul Blackthorne's been posting pictures from previous seasons when Roy is still in the costume. They're doing some usual suspects. Episode 13 is titled The Devil's Greatest Trick. That might have something to do with Oliver convincing everyone that he's not the Green Arrow, or it might be something specific to the Kate and James character or the villain. Episode 12 is going to be Oliver versus Black Canary. I don't know how much of a fight they're going to have, but they're just teasing a conflict. I think the closest that the two teams would get to actually fighting each other would be harsh words and a bit of a slap fight. I don't think that anybody's going to put anybody in the hospital, but it was actually pretty cool to watch Black Canary stop the train with her sonic scream. It gives you an idea for how powerful she is. It looked like she was opening up 100% on that. They actually did a character that had a similar ability called Banshee from the comics on Supergirl, who was actually able to levitate herself with her sonic scream. So maybe at some point they'll try having Black Canary jump off of a building and use her sonic scream to cushion the blow. I don't think it would totally work, but as long as the building wasn't too high, she could probably eat that. But let me know in the comments, who do you think that Kate and James' son is, and how big of a part of this do you think that Prometheus is? Like, he's hurting Oliver from beyond the grave. Like, even though he was dead, there were a lot of things that he set in motion that would be hurting Oliver during season 6, and this just feels like one of those things. But what'll happen next is I'll do a video for that Dawn West character on The Flash and talk about Iris West getting powers. The CW finally confirmed officially why she's going to be wearing a speedster costume, and it's going to be temporary, but I'll explain. It'll all make sense.
It's loading. Come on. Loading. And it says, this house is bitchin'.
We're gonna need more diapers, so I'll name the giveaway winner when I post that video. Click here for brand new Flash, and click here for brand new Black Panther footage and Avengers. Thank you so much for watching. Everybody stay awesome. I'll see you guys tonight.